So if you're not subscribed to this channel, I would greatly appreciate it if you subscribe. If you're interested, like the video, share the videos, all that. It would really help me out. So what I would like to lay out in front of you before I get into what I want to talk about is I have some things in mind that I want to try to do on this channel going forward. Kind of a series, I guess you would say, to start going deeper into certain aspects of religion, Christianity, the subsets of Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, all these things, really. And then I'm going to go over new things like Morgan, Hyperianism, and one religion that I found that I find quite interesting is Arcturianism. I'm going to go over that. I'm going to give you my thoughts on it, and then I'm going to try to help you connect the dots to see how they all believe the same thing in just a different way, even in the science. I know some people might get offended or annoyed me saying that science is just like religion, but I'm going to explain to you and show you how. No, I'm not saying all science is bullshit. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you get to the core of what most scientists believe, it's as preposterous as what religious people believe about how we got here. And it takes a lot of blind belief and faith to go along with it. And I'm going to also go into philosophers, people that I watch, and I'm not going to, it's going to be a very unbiased look at these things. And I'm going to go over people like Jordan Peterson. I'm going to go over people like Alan Watts. I'm going to go over people like Ram Dass, like Nietzsche, like Carl Jung, like Terence McKenna, David Goggins, people that I actually watch and have quite a bit of respect for. But I'm also going to point out the holes in what they say and show you and explain to you and sew it all up in the end to prove to you that no one has it fully together. No one truly knows what they're talking about, and no one has it together completely here, myself included. I'm not above that judgment. I am not perfect. I'm far from perfect. And I'm just going along on a journey and hoping you guys come with me so I can help you all out along the way is really what I'm trying to do. But that is something I'm excited about. I hope some of you guys are excited about it as well. It kind of just popped in my head the other day about something I would like doing because I was thinking about new video ideas and stuff. I also have videos planned about explaining to you why being comfortable, and this is a reply that I've been talking about for a fucking month now. I understand that, but I'm going to do it. It's going to be a response / updated video I did about 1.5 years ago, talking about why you do not want to get comfortable. You need to get the fuck up and do something. That's planned. I have a whole series about life lessons planned, just giving you things that I've experienced and went through that could help you out later on or in the future, or maybe it could help you out right now. I don't know yet. But this video is going to be about the idea of God. What is God? What isn't God? And the idea of God is the only thing that stays true. So depending upon who you ask and depending upon what they believe, the version of God is going to be completely different. But with that one series about all these religions and stuff, I will tie together how they all believe the same thing and they all worship the same God. But the idea of this God in the sky, and I'm going to explain to you why this is true. Some of these things are subtly true, but completely false in the same breath. It's fucking wild. So this idea of a God in the sky that watches your every move and judges you, now that's complete bullshit. There's no one separate from yourself that's watching you and judging you. However, who watches you more than you watch yourself? Who judges you more than you judge yourself? So although there is not a separate entity from you that does these things, you do these things. So that version of God is true, but completely false in the same fucking breath. Now you could call that a paradox, because reality is a paradox. Um, how we're here right now makes no sense. The fact that we're here right now is in itself a miracle. I want you to realize that, understand that, try to get your head around that. But that version of God, why would you want to have anything to do with it? Is my question. Now, not the because you do watch and judge yourself, but the one that would send you to heaven or hell, the one that would supposedly everything was predetermined. God created everything. It was predetermined before you came here, but then 80 years to God is that right there, blink of a fucking eye. And you really believe that entity that created this and knew everything that was going to happen before it happened, put you here, supposedly gave you free will, which if you believe that, you have no free will. I'm sorry. I'm being honest. And then expects you to conduct yourself and behave in such a manner, and then turns around and says, well, you have free will. I gave you free will. That's contradiction. That whole story is a contradiction. So then, Islam and Christianity are pretty similar. That may offend some people, but it's true. They're very similar in the God they believe in. It's the same type of God. All these religions believe in the same thing, just in different ways. And that is something I've talked about this one for a year, but I am going to start. I couldn't wrap my mind around how to do it. I was like, man, I'm going to end up having to make like an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour long video explaining all this, and I can't do that. I don't want to do that. But if I piece it down piece by piece, it'll make sense, and hopefully gain more interest in somebody saying, well, a 3 hour video about God and religion, and fuck that. So, some people want to say God is the universe. So, what is the universe? What universe are we talking about? And do you believe in multiverses? I mean, what do you really believe here? And then some people believe God is Earth, that Earth is God, and all this. And then these people, this is what mind fucks me. This is really what it is. It took me quite a while to wrap my mind around this place. Is people will believe things just because they're told. They have no proof or evidence to back it up. They have no experience with it. And they will defend that. And I'm going to go into something else here too for a moment. Actually, instead of this whole video being about God, we're going to talk about the traps that religion, politics, and etc. can set for you. So if you believe the whole God thing, pick a God, any God, it's the same God, but pick which form you want to believe in. You have no proof or evidence to back that up. Not only do you not have any proof or evidence to back that up, in my humble opinion, you have been programmed to not believe, question, or look outside of the box of anything. So it's awful convenient that you're put here. You don't know anything. You have to learn things. And what you learn is you have been being taught things about other people that's been passed down through millennia. And then you find out that these stories are not accurate. History is not really accurate. So why are we taking this as being accurate? But we want to pretend like we know things we don't know. We don't know that a meteor took out the dinosaurs. We don't know that's what caused the dinosaurs to go extinct. Whatever. I'm not going to go too deep into this. But we pretend like we do. We have no fucking clue what people were doing tens of thousands of years ago, but we pretend like we do. We have no clue how how supposedly our skin evolved, how language evolved, how all these things happened, how people got to the Americans. Well, an ice bridge. Well, you can't prove that. You don't know that. It's blind belief and faith. Well, I can take soil samples and I can do this and that. Again, you can't directly prove that. There is not 100% evidence or proof of anything you're claiming or saying. You're putting together stories that make them sound good and are believable. And then other people take it and believe it. Like, it's just odd to me again, that people take religion so wholeheartedly and seriously, but have no proof or evidence to back it up. They're going on what they've been told. And then they use that religion as some moral high ground or a crutch to stand on. And then a lot of people use it to justify the dumb, ignorant shit they do. I want you to notice that and realize that. And then the whole school system, the way it's set up, the whole mechanical structure of it, like you're born, you go to school, you go to church or whatever, you start learning these things, you start believing them as being true, so you create some kind of false reality within them. And on top of that, what happens when kids go to school? And this is really, go back and think about when you went to school. What happened? You had to ask when to go to the bathroom. You were told when you were going to eat. You were told what time to be there. You were told what time you were going to leave. And if you didn't, at this time, I don't know if this is still going on now with this whole COVID shit, but if you missed so many days of school, your parents would go to jail and you would be put in detention. And on top of that, the school has more to do with raising the kids than the parents. At that point, now that's true. That is undeniably true. No. So then you do this and you tell them you need to go to college and get a good job. You have to go to college. You have to get a good job. Then you have all these police officers and dare officers coming in there and telling them what what bad drugs are, and they have got they've got the drugs all fucked up because there are good drugs. Obviously, you guys know I think that, but it doesn't matter. It's like they're telling them, exposing them to drugs, and then they are telling them what they can and can't put in their body. And then the laws tell you what you can and can't put in your body. So you're not free here. I want you to understand this. America's supposed to be the freest country in the world, and you're far from fucking free, my friends. You're far from free. You have been indoctrinated and set up to go into a mechanical system to where you want to believe in some God in the sky, or you want to believe in science. It doesn't matter. Whatever. You have to believe in one of them. And then you go to school, you learn shit you're not going to use the rest of your life that makes no sense really, and then you find out later on that was a bunch of bullshit. On top of that, you go get a job you're miserable at, you don't like doing, or you go to college and then get into debt to get a job that you don't like doing and are miserable at, and it's a cycle, and it's one we need to break. I have no problems what anyone believes or doesn't believe, but you should question why you believe it. I just like, this is the way I look at life, is if I have a thought or an idea, I question it, and then I go try to experience or do something that will either prove it or disprove it. So all I can do is tell you guys my experience. All I can do is tell you my perspective of this place. And this really can be heaven or hell. It's all perspective. And this is going to sound incredibly insensitive and rude, and I don't mean it to, so please, please, please don't take it that way. All the horrible things that are going on in the world, have you ever experienced it? Has anyone you personally know ever experienced it or went through it? That's the question you need to be asking yourself. That's the question you need to be asking yourself. What are you judging heaven and hell on? You have to know hell to know heaven. Very true. But what if this is heaven and hell and your mind determines which state you're in? You ever thought about that? Because if you look at it like there's kids in Africa, they don't have drinking water, they're starving. They are all these, people are racist, people are sexist, they're homophobic, people abuse kids, people check sex trafficking, sweatshops, etc. Then you're going to see hell in this place. If you can see through the illusion, though, it's not hard to make this place heaven. It's not fucking hard to do. I guess the biggest question is, how far past the illusion have you seen? And I guess the bigger question is, when are you going to accept what you saw to the people that saw it? And I guess the bigger question is, to the people that claim they saw it and saw through it and understand what I'm saying, is why the fuck are you still getting caught up in stupid bullshit like politics? Why are you doing that? Why? Why are you still getting caught up in stupid fear-based bullshit? Why? I guess those are, questions I'd like to have answered, but maybe I'll get them one day. I'm gonna go ahead and end this because it's 15 minutes and I have. Basically, I just wanted to give you thoughts on my upcoming videos, and I do have a friend slash subscriber that wants me to go into life lessons I've learned and unintended consequences, which I will be doing that 2 to 3 videos a week starting this week. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. Sorry I rambled in this video. I rambled in circles, but it is what it is. So maybe some of you guys that watch this can answer some of these questions. Why do you believe what you believe? Do you believe it because you know it, you've experienced it, or do you just have blind faith? And why are you so quick and so quick to jump and get your feelings hurt over shit that don't affect you? Now this is going to sound like a contradiction because it is. You cannot be selfish, and I don't want this to come across as me being selfish. Like, well, if it don't happen to you, then who gives a fuck? That's not what I'm saying. We need to come together to make this place better. But you have to see through the illusion to understand what's really happening before we can make it better. So why don't you fucking see through it already? Anyway, I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Just remember, this is all a game of form and a play of life. That's literally what's going on right now.